Okay. Just want to go over my trade recap that I took today. Explaining my trade that I took on Nvda, right? How I built my thesis around this trade, my entries, my exits, and so on. So coming into today, right, it was pretty much the same game plan as yesterday, the exact same game plan, which was a break and retest over this 188.15, right, or a pullback long if it occurred off this 184.50, which we can see held perfectly yesterday, right? That was the game plan coming into today. Now, for me, the A plus trade was really because, right, we don't do channels, I don't trade channels or zones, right? As you can see, we broke outside of this channel, right, retested that and continued higher. This was a beautiful hold, right? That was the game plan coming into today. Now, let's zoom in here on the intraday, right? And you'll see this in the live trade, right? This is what we want when we are looking, right, for break and retest. The better the displacement, the better, right? That is beautiful. Good break, retest. I ended up going long on this candle here, the strong momentum candle, and got stopped out, break even on my runners. Now, the past few days, I've been very conservative with my trading, more so in a scalper mentality. So I'm very happy that FOMC is done, right? Because now I can, sit in my trades, let them play out, let them develop, right? Understanding, market conditions are everything. And leading up to today, these are not times where you want to be aggressive. So all week has pretty much been a base hit type of week for me. I'm only up like 2,000. Last week, I think I took about 2 to 3 trades and, ended around 4 to 5,000. So base hit type of week. So I'm very happy that, we're done with today, and looking forward to these next 2 days, right? So break, retest. I entered on this very strong momentum candle here, push to the upside, literally the same trade that I took yesterday. And as you can see, right, yesterday ended up getting stopped out and we ended up reversing, right? So just understanding market context, conditions, when to overstay your welcome and whatnot. So today for me was FOMC. I'm like, I'm not looking to overstay my welcome, right? Target here, ideally, really, this swing high, uh, scale out here, and then let your runners take you off for break even. But I ended up pretty much selling majority into this push, and I never really got continuation for my trailers to pretty much target this high of day and then continue more. But what I do like, right, like I've always say, you want your key levels to be treated as mini zones, right? We did fall below a little bit. These are just some liquidity graphs, some bear traps. But as you see on the intraday, as soon as we broke above this 188.15, buyers defended this very well throughout the day. After the strong momentum push to the upside, we pretty much chopped around all day, right? That's expected on an FOMC day. So proper break, retest. This, right? And this is why I like to review my trades, right? The deeper the pullback, the better. I'm very happy with my entry, but this was the proper trade, right? Wicks do the damage, body tells the story. And that's why, right, when you stop out of a trade, it's very important to wait for that candle to close under your stop loss. I promise you, I have lost a lot of winning trades due to getting wicked out or faked out, right? Those liquidity grabs, being a part of those suck, right? So these are the proper trades, right? Like you get that pullback, you see buyer step in and you go long, and this was the easier trade, right? Deeper the pullback, we fall under, right? We reclaim fuel to the upside, nothing but green, right? Only one down closed candle after we reclaim this level, move to the upside. So something for me, myself, to even note moving forward into the future, right? But I'm very happy with today. Really happy with the discipline this week. Just a base hit type of week, right? For me, I have not been stepping on the gas this week for obvious reasons. So hopefully tomorrow, things will start to pick up. There are some good setups in the market coming into tomorrow. Now, let's go here on Tradezilla, right? Like I said, base hit type of week. You'll see in the live trade, I got filled terribly, a very late fill. I was up, instantly like 10 to 11% on this trade, and I wanted my runners to do the majority of the heavy lifting. Just, it's FOMC, you never know what's going to happen, right? And as soon as I sold the majority of my position, like we pulled back and it was a late fill. So very unfortunate there. But right, it's a base hit day. I'm okay with today. Definitely could have been a bigger type of day. That's something to note moving forward. But the exact same setup that I took yesterday, right? Break and retest over that 188, looking for the high of day and the continuation, right? So hopefully this helps, right? My breakdown, why I took my trade, my entries, my exits, how I built my thesis around taking this trade, and so on. So yeah, enjoy the live trade. Let's see if buyers step in here on the video. I want this candle to close. Big pullback here. Overall market's still pulling back, so it's exactly wrong we're patient. So let's see what happens here. It's funny because SPY and Qs is pulling back heavy right now, and all three of these names are kind of moving to the upside a little bit. I need to see strong buyers here, which I'm not seeing yet. Well, stop loss is right under. I want to see if we can gravitate towards this high today. Nice. Contracts are moving much better today. Nice. Very nice. I'm at 10%. Break even on the rest. Yep, stopped out. Contracts move much better today. Good sell. I'm very happy with that. I was up 10%. I really wanted the rest of my runners to do majority of the work, but entered on this strong momentum candle when I saw a buyer step in. It's been hard lately to kind of get this continuation, but today is FOMC day, so not too upset.